What if the heaviest burden you carry is not the struggle to reach the top of the mountain, but the silence you find once you arrive? Have you ever noticed a strange emptiness right after you finally get what you spent years chasing? Most people do not realize that the deepest form of feeling lost does not happen when you are failing. It happens when you have succeeded, and you suddenly realize the prize did not bring the peace you were promised. If you have ever felt tired, confused, or entirely empty after reaching a goal that was supposed to change your life, this is for you. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may change the way you see this pain forever. We are taught from a very young age to chase. We are told to work hard, sacrifice the present, and build our identity around what we can accomplish. You tell yourself, once I get that promotion, I will be secure. Or, once I reach that financial milestone, I will be free. Or, once I finish this project, I will finally be happy. You pour your blood, sweat, and soul into the climb. You make the goal your entire world. And then, one day, you reach it. You stand at the summit. You hold the prize. But instead of a lasting, triumphant joy, a quiet, unsettling void opens up inside you. You look around and think, is this it? Is this all there is? The exhaustion catches up to you. You feel disconnected, and worst of all, you feel guilty for not being as happy as everyone expects you to be. In Buddhist thought, this pain is deeply understood. Much of our suffering is born from our attachment to the future. We live in the illusion that our worth, our peace, and our joy are waiting for us at a specific destination. We turn our goals into saviors, but Buddhism reminds us of the law of impermanence. Everything is temporary. The struggle is temporary, and the high of victory is temporary too. When the chase ends, the distraction ends. You are no longer running from yourself, which means you are finally forced to sit with yourself. Imagine a traveler running relentlessly through a dense, dark forest, chasing a bright light in the distance. He ignores the ancient trees, the cool rivers, and the open sky above him. His only thought is reaching that light. He endures cuts, bruises, and sleepless nights. Finally, exhausted and breathless, he reaches it only to discover it was just a small lantern left on a stone. The light is beautiful, yes, but it does not magically change the forest. The forest remains exactly as it is, and now, without the chase to distract him, the traveler must finally look around. He must finally look within. Think about your own life. Have you been running toward a lantern, believing it would change the whole forest? Have you tied your entire sense of self to a job title, a relationship, or a milestone? When the goal is completed, who are you without it? This emptiness you feel is not a failure. It is an awakening. Pause. Breathe. Do not judge the quiet. Allow yourself to stand at the summit and simply feel the wind. You do not need to immediately look for another mountain to climb just to escape the silence. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. You are not broken because you feel lost after a victory. You are simply waking up from the illusion that peace is something you can capture and hold in your hands. But letting go of the need to constantly chase is only the first step, because beneath this sudden emptiness is a deeper truth about the nature of our desires. And this is where the next truth begins. What if the concept of arriving is the greatest myth we have ever been told? Here is a truth few people want to face. The destination you have been dreaming of does not actually exist. We live under the heavy expectation that life is a straight line, leading toward a permanent state of happiness. You imagine that one day you will cross an invisible finish line. You believe that once you secure the perfect relationship, the right title, or the ideal home, all your fears will vanish. You assume you will finally be able to exhale and say, "I have arrived." But life does not stop. The morning after your greatest victory, The sun still rises, the chores still need to be done, the doubts still creep in, and the sheer exhaustion of realizing that life still requires effort after you have made it can leave you feeling deeply betrayed. Buddhist wisdom teaches that this endless cycle of chasing is the root of our suffering. The mind is conditioned to believe that the next external achievement will finally soothe our internal restlessness. But this is the trap of craving. Craving is like a fire. We mistakenly believe that if we throw enough wood into the flames, enough money, enough success, enough validation, the fire will eventually go out. But feeding the fire only makes it burn larger. We suffer because we attach our inner peace to external conditions that are constantly changing. We fall in love with the illusion of a permanent ending, forgetting that every ending is simply the beginning of something else. Imagine walking across a vast, beautiful desert. In the distance, you see the sharp, clear line of the horizon. You convince yourself that if you just walk far enough, you can reach it. You can stand right on that edge and finally rest. So you walk for days, years, lifetimes. But no matter how many miles you cross, the horizon remains exactly the same distance away. It was never a comforting, physical place you could reach. It was only an illusion created by your perspective. Think about the milestones in your modern life. You finally earn the promotion, but the anxiety of keeping the position immediately takes its place. You move into the space you always wanted, but within months, the excitement fades into normal routine. You reach the income you always desired, and suddenly, your mind searches for a higher number. The scenery changes, but the restless mind remains exactly the same. You have been running toward a horizon, exhausting yourself for a destination that simply moves backward with every step you take. Ask yourself, right now, what is your horizon? What is the when you are waiting for? I will be happy when. I will finally relax when. What are you afraid will happen if you simply stop running? Stop waiting for the arrival. Pause right where you are. Breathe. When you notice your mind creating a new condition for your happiness, just observe it. Watch the thought arise, acknowledge the craving, and let it pass like a cloud drifting across the quiet sky. You do not have to. Follow it. Do your part in life. Work toward beautiful things, but release the desperate belief that they will finally save you. Letting go of the illusion of arrival is not a defeat. It is the most liberating truth you can realize, because when you stop waiting for the destination, you make space for the life you are living right now. But standing still in the present moment, when you have spent your whole life running, can feel incredibly uncomfortable. And this is where the next truth begins. What if the emptiness you feel right now is not a sign that you are lost, but proof that you are finally free to begin again? Here is the truth that makes us so deeply uncomfortable. There is a terrifying stillness in the space between chapters. When you have spent years defined by a single pursuit, finishing it leaves a sudden, deafening silence. The old goal is complete, but the new purpose has not yet arrived. We are terrified of this empty space. In a world that demands constant motion, standing still feels like falling behind. The moment you achieve something, people immediately ask, "So, what is next?" And if you do not have an answer, panic sets in. You feel the frantic urge to fill the void. You want to rush into a new project, a new role, or a new obsession, not because you truly want it, but because you cannot bear the discomfort of not knowing who you are without a mountain to climb. Buddhist wisdom teaches us not to fear the empty space. In our modern minds, emptiness means lack. It means something is missing or broken. But in Buddhist thought, emptiness is entirely different. It is not a void of nothingness. It is a space of pure potential. It is the quiet ground from which all new life springs. We suffer when we try to force answers before it is time. We struggle because we demand that life immediately hand us a new script, the second the old one ends. But growth does not happen in constant daylight. True transformation requires periods of stillness, of resting in the unknown without grasping for control. Imagine a tiny seed buried deep beneath the cold soil in the middle of winter. From the outside, nothing is happening. The earth looks barren, quiet, and lifeless. If the seed were to panic, it might try to force its way upward, pushing through the frozen ground before the sun is ready to warm it, only to be destroyed by the frost. But the seed does not rush. It surrenders to the darkness. It trusts the waiting. It knows that the dark, quiet space is not a punishment, but a necessary pause to gather strength before it breaks toward the light. Think about your own moments of transition. Perhaps you have stepped away from a career that defined you, finished a milestone that consumed your time, or realized that the life you built no longer fits the person you have become. You are sitting in the dark, feeling the intense pressure to succeed, to have a plan, to figure it all out right now. But rushing will only lead you to plant the wrong seeds in frozen ground. Ask yourself, what are you trying to force right now? Are you frantically chasing a new goal just to avoid the quiet? What would happen if you simply allowed yourself to not have the answers yet? Stop trying to force the door open. Breathe. Sit in the quiet room of your life right now. When the anxious thought arises that you are falling behind, observe it. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. You do not have to have the next 10 years mapped out today. You do not need to know the entire path. You only need to be present for this single step. Embrace the space between chapters. It is not a failure. It is a profound, necessary rest. Allow yourself to simply exist, sitting comfortably in the unknown. But to truly embrace this new space, you must release your grip on the person you were during the climb. And this is where the next truth begins. What if the hardest part of moving forward is not discovering where to go next, but letting go of who you used to be? Here is a truth that is difficult to swallow. The identity that helped you survive the climb is the very thing holding you back from enjoying the summit. When we pursue a massive goal for years, we do not just give it our time, we give it our identity. You become the hard worker, the struggler, the relentless visionary, the one who overcomes all odds. You wrap your entire sense of self around the friction. So when the project is finished, the milestone is reached, or the battle is won, you suddenly feel invisible. If you are no longer the person fighting for that dream, then who are you? You feel entirely lost, not because you lack direction, but because you are unknowingly mourning a past version of yourself. In Buddhist thought, one of the deepest lessons is the illusion of a permanent self. We suffer immensely because we believe our identity is solid and fixed. We take our roles, our titles, our daily habits, and our past struggles, and we cling to them as if they are our true essence. But Buddhism reminds us that just as the world around us is constantly changing, so too are we. Non-attachment does not only apply to letting go of physical possessions or specific outcomes. The most profound non-attachment is releasing the stories we tell about who we are. Imagine a warrior who has spent decades wearing a heavy suit of iron armor. It protected him through countless battles and fierce storms. It kept him alive. But eventually, the war ends. Peace returns to the valley. Yet, out of habit and fear, the warrior refuses to take off the armor. He sleeps in it, walks in it, and grows deeply exhausted by its crushing weight. He believes the iron is his actual skin. He is terrified to take it off, fearing that if he removes the armor, there will be nothing left underneath. But the armor is not him. It was just a tool that served its purpose, and now it is only a burden. We do this in our modern lives every single day. You hold on to the stress of a phase you already survived. You carry the exhaustion of a struggle that is completely over. You define yourself by the sheer effort it took to get where you are, unable to simply exist in the peace you have finally earned. You grip onto your past titles because you are terrified of being undefined. Think about that for a moment. Ask yourself, who are you without your struggle? Who are you when there is no immediate problem to solve? No mountain to climb, no title to protect? What are you afraid will happen if you simply put down the heavy armor? Stop. Breathe. Imagine unbuckling that heavy iron. You do not need to carry the weight of the past into the quiet of the present. Allow yourself to step out of the roles you have outgrown. Let the feeling of being temporarily undefined rise without fighting it. You do not need a label to have worth. You are not your achievements, and you are not your struggles. You are the quiet awareness, observing them. You are allowed to let the old version of yourself rest now. But the moment we take off the old armor, the mind often panics, desperately searching for a new mask to wear just to feel important again. And this is where the next truth begins. What if the urgent need to find your next great purpose is actually pushing it further away? Here is a truth that is hard to accept. When you try to force meaning out of panic, you usually end up building another prison. When the old goal is finished and the silence sets in, the mind desperately looks for an escape. In our modern world, we are conditioned to believe that we must always be moving forward, always striving, always clearly defining our path. You look around, perhaps scrolling through social media, and see everyone else seemingly living with intense passion and direction. The pressure to keep up becomes unbearable. So, what do? You grab the nearest acceptable goal. You force a new career path, a new obsessive project, or a new milestone. Not because it truly calls to your heart, but because you cannot stand the feeling of being aimless. You manufacture a dramatic purpose just to feel safe again. But here is the truth. A purpose chosen out of fear will eventually feel like a cage. Buddhist wisdom teaches that this frantic grasping is a subtle but destructive form of craving. We suffer because we demand that life give us clear answers on our own immediate timeline. Buddhism reminds us that true clarity does not come from forceful action. It arises from mindful presence. When we force an outcome out of anxiety, we are merely reacting to our own discomfort. We are trying to control the uncontrollable. The harder we pull at the strings of life, the more tangled they become. Wisdom is found in the pause, in allowing things to unfold naturally, rather than demanding they bend to our will. Imagine a person standing in a quiet garden, staring at a tightly closed green rosebud. They know a beautiful flower is inside, but they are impatient. They want to see the color and smell the fragrance right now. So, they reach out and try to peel the petals open with their fingers. What happens? The flower does not bloom, it tears. It is bruised and destroyed by the very hands that were trying to force its beauty. The bloom cannot be rushed. It requires time, water, sunlight, and the gentle, slow process of natural unfolding. Think about how often we do this with our own lives. You feel the heavy pressure to succeed, the deep fear of falling behind your peers, and so you pry at the petals of your future. You commit to a new, exhausting path just to have a quick answer when people ask what you are doing next. You trade the peace of the present moment for the familiar, draining stress of a forced pursuit. Ask yourself, are you trying to peel the petals of your life open by force? Is this new direction you are considering born from true inspiration? Or is it simply a reaction to the fear of standing still? What would happen if you let the bud remain closed for just a little while longer? Stop, breathe, release your tight grip on the need to know the answer today. When the desperate urge to fix your life arises, simply observe it. Do not judge it, but do not obey it either. Let the anxiety pass like a sudden gust of wind. You do not have to have a grand, dramatic purpose right this second. You are allowed to let life be quiet, because meaning is not something you can manufacture on a tight schedule. It is not an object you can hunt down and trap in a cage. True purpose often enters your life entirely unnoticed, and this is where the next truth begins. 6. The wisdom of the quiet seed. What if the most important growth of your life is happening right now, completely in the dark? Here is a truth we rarely accept. True purpose does not arrive like a lightning strike. It grows slowly, in the silence. In our fast-paced world, we expect instant epiphanies. We want dramatic clarity. When you feel lost, after a major achievement, you wait for a sudden flash of inspiration to tell you exactly what to do next. You think that if you do not feel a massive wave of passion today, you are failing. The slow days feel like wasted days. You wake up, go through a quiet routine, and feel a deep ache. Because nothing spectacular is happening. You look at your life and think, I am entirely stagnant. Buddhist wisdom teaches us the profound value of the unseen process. We suffer because we are obsessed with the visible fruit, entirely ignoring the invisible roots. Buddhism reminds us that the quiet moments of our lives are not empty voids, they are deeply active. This is the practice of mindful patience. We must learn to honor the present moment, even when it feels ordinary. The illusion is that silence equals inaction. But in the Buddhist view, embracing the slow, unglamorous days without demanding they be extraordinary is where true inner transformation actually begins. Imagine a seed planted in the deep, heavy earth. You water it, and you wait. A whole season passes. Nothing breaks the surface. Another season passes. The ground looks entirely bare. Someone walking by would think you are tending to dead dirt. You might even begin to doubt it yourself. But beneath the soil, in the absolute dark, massive, intricate roots are spreading. They are pushing through the heavy rock, finding water, and building a foundation strong enough to support a towering tree. When the sprout finally breaks the earth, it will shoot into the sky with incredible speed. But it did not grow in a week. It was growing the entire time, in the quiet darkness. Think about your current season of feeling lost. You may feel like you are just watering dirt. You are doing the quiet, uncelebrated work. You are resting. You are setting new boundaries. You are pulling away from the exhaustion of comparison. Society tells you that if you do not have something loud to show for your days, a new promotion, a grand project, a major announcement, you are falling behind. But what if you are simply building your roots? What if this long, confusing pause is exactly the foundation you need to sustain the weight of your next chapter? Ask yourself, are you judging your progress only by what is visible to others? Are you calling yourself stagnant simply because your growth is currently underground? What if the quiet days you are experiencing right now are not a delay, but a requirement? Pause. Breathe. Trust the quiet dirt. When you feel the intense urge to judge your current stillness, remind yourself that roots grow in the dark. You do not need a profound realization today. You only need to do the small, simple things with care and release the need for a grand revelation. Let your purpose grow slowly. Do not dig up the seed just to see if it is growing, because a meaningful life is not built through constant, loud victories. It is built by finding peace in the quiet moments between them. And this is where the next truth begins. 7. Redefining success as presence. What if the highest form of success is not about what you acquire, but how deeply you are able to inhabit the life you already have? Here is a truth we often overlook in our endless climbing. You can have everything you ever wanted and still miss your own life entirely. We are conditioned to measure our worth by our momentum. We think success is the accumulation of titles, the crossing of finish lines, and the constant upgrading of our circumstances. But think about what happens when you operate this way. You finally get the quiet weekend off, but you spend it dreading the upcoming week. You sit down to rest with the people you love, but your mind is miles away, replaying a stressful conversation or worrying about a future project. You reach the milestone you sacrificed years for, but instead of celebrating, your mind immediately creates a new panic about what to do next. You are building a life, but you are never actually in it. You are constantly leaning forward, waiting for the real joy to begin. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the present moment is the only place where true life exists. We suffer immensely because we treat the present as merely a stepping stone to the future. We believe that now is an obstacle, a waiting room we must desperately rush through until we reach the better life ahead of us. But Buddhism reminds us that the future is an illusion created by the restless mind. When tomorrow finally arrives, it will simply be another now. If you do not know how to be at peace in the present, you will not be at peace in the future, no matter how many goals you achieve. True success is the radical act of being completely here. Imagine a vast, deep lake sitting under the night sky. High above, a full, brilliant moon is shining. When the waters of the lake are agitated, churning with rough winds, crashing against the shore, constantly moving, the reflection of the moon is shattered into 1,000 scattered pieces. The lake is unable to hold the light, but when the wind finally dies down and the water becomes perfectly still, the lake transforms into a clear mirror. It does not need to reach up into the sky and grab the moon. It simply rests in its own stillness, and the beautiful light is effortlessly reflected on the surface. In our modern lives, our minds are exactly like the churning water. We are constantly agitated by the winds of ambition, the fear of falling behind, and the pressure to prove our worth. We believe that if we just move faster and struggle harder, we can catch the light. But the faster we move, the more shattered our peace becomes. By constantly chasing the next big thing, we miss the quiet beauty of a morning coffee. We miss the warmth of a simple conversation. We miss the profound miracle of simply breathing in and out without being in a state of emergency. Think about your own life. Ask yourself, where is your mind right now? Are you physically here, but mentally living in tomorrow? How many beautiful moments have you already missed because you were too busy looking at the horizon? Is your restless mind stealing the joy you have already earned? Stop, breathe. Bring your awareness back to this exact second. Feel the physical weight of your body. Notice the quiet air around you. You do not have to solve tomorrow's problems today. Let the turbulent waters of your mind settle. Just for a moment, do your part, then release the outcome. Because true peace is not a place you finally arrive at. It is a way of walking. But to truly walk in peace, you must stop fighting the reality of where you stand. And this is where the final truth begins. 8. Letting life meet you where you are. What if the greatest act of courage is not finding a new mountain to climb, but finally allowing yourself to sit down? We began this journey looking at the empty summit. We looked at that quiet, heavy pain that washes over you when the long chase is finally over and the prize in your hands does not bring the permanent peace you were promised. You felt lost. You felt exhausted. You felt terrified that if you were no longer the person struggling toward a goal, you were nobody at all. But look at how far your understanding has traveled. You now know that this emptiness is not a void. It is the fertile ground of your next chapter. You now know that your worth is not tied to your momentum, and your identity is not bound to your past struggles. You no longer have to panic when the path ahead is unclear. You do not have to force a rosebud open before it is ready, and you do not have to dig up the quiet seeds of your life just to prove they are growing. Buddhist wisdom brings us back to the ultimate truth of non-attachment and presence. The illusion was always that peace was somewhere out there waiting at the finish line, hiding inside the next promotion, or attached to a future version of yourself. But peace was never a destination. It is the space you create. When you stop fighting the reality of this exact moment, you suffer when you demand that life give you a dramatic purpose on demand. You find freedom when you realize that simply being alive, aware, and present is a profound purpose in itself. Imagine a river that has spent its entire existence rushing down the side of a steep, jagged mountain. It has fought through rocks, carved through canyons, and crashed over massive waterfalls. Its entire identity has been motion, friction, and noise. But eventually, the river reaches the valley. The ground levels out. The frantic rushing stops. The water widens, slows down, and becomes perfectly quiet. If the river only knew how to fight, it might feel lost in this calm. It might think it has failed because it is no longer roaring, but the river has not failed. It has simply reached the ocean. It is finally home. Think about your own long journey. You have fought through the canyons. You have survived the steep drops and the jagged rocks. You have worked so hard to get to where you are right now. Why are you so afraid of the calm water? Ask yourself, what would happen if you finally gave yourself permission to rest? What if you stopped trying to manufacture your next great calling and simply let life unfold at its own perfect pace? Stop, breathe. Look around at the life you have built. You do not need to run anymore. You do not have to chase what is already leaving, and you do not have to force what has not yet arrived. Let the quiet season be quiet. Trust the dark dirt. Trust the space between chapters. If these lessons touched your heart, share this video with someone who may need a little more peace today. Let life meet you where you are.